Anyway, let's do the stuffies for like the 500th time. Oh my god. Help. Hey ladies and gentlemen, my name's Pixie here from Picsonix Studios, otherwise known as Marco, if you want to be a bit more formal. Call me by my real name. First and foremost, I take my hat off for anybody that does this for a living, because this is freaking daunting. But yeah, as I mentioned, I'm an indie game developer and I've been doing it for maybe like the past 4 years now. The first year and a half of it was struggles after struggles after struggles, because obviously, like anybody that's new in any industry, it's a learning curve. I did not start off with indie game development or any game development of sorts at all. I was in a whole bunch of other plethora of industries, from chefing and hospitality and technical fields and whatever. But yeah, the game development side of things just kind of fell in my lap by accident. One day, me and my friend was playing Daisy, I think, and he just on a hunch told me, "Oh, I love this game, but there's some stuff I would want to change. So let's make a game." Literally, he just said that, and as stupid as we are, we decided, okay, let's try and do this. Just for the fun of it, just for us. It wasn't meant for the public or releasing it or whatever. A little bit more backstory of that is basically we started on the development of this game called I Am Man. A lot of kind of inspiration came from I Am Legend, the movie. We were trying to kind of remake the scenery in a sense of that movie, and kind of the storyline in a sense also. In making it like a first-person survival apocalyptical type game. It was only meant for us friends to play in a sense, but at the time I was still working full-time at a racetrack. Didn't earn a lot of money, but I had a decent enough setup PC-wise to actually start making games. So we decided to start off on Unity, developing the game. A lot of the assets that we used in the game were self-made, so a lot of hours went into it. I remember coming home 5 o'clock the afternoon and then still working up to 2, 3 the morning trying to create assets. So basically every free moment I had, I was either coding or making assets. And then a year down the line, here in South Africa where I stay, we have a thing called load shedding. Load shedding is when they switch your power off at random. Well, back then it was just random times. They just decide, okay, we're switching off your power now. There wasn't really schedules or anything. And as you can think, PCs and servers and stuff don't like that. All of our backup files and stuff were stored on a server that my friend owned, and yeah, it didn't like the load shedding, so eventually we lost everything on the server. The drives packed up because all of them were hard disk drives. So as everybody knows, a hard disk drive doesn't like getting shut down all of a sudden. Eventually we did get everything up and rolling again with the new hard drives in the server, etc, etc. Another maybe 5 or 6 months went down. Tried catching up with everything, and eventually I did manage to keep a lot of what we lost, because I found files on my PC still, so we backed that up and everything. But then the friend decided to just go silent on me, and then next thing I hear, he moved to a different location. I couldn't log onto the server anymore, and yeah, other friend of mine that's also friends with him, whole shebang, but he ran away with the files, etc. And yeah, so from that moment on in time, I decided, okay, let's try and do this solo. And then yeah, I started on a game that I'm still busy on, which reason why I'm making this video now, called Man's Last Breath. I'm planned on making it a game series where the storyline that I have with the game stretches out over a course of maybe 3 or 4 games. The reason why I'm spreading it out over the course of maybe 3 to 4 games is due to the storyline. It's a pretty big storyline. It took me a lot of time to write, but it plays off in a different bunch of different ages. So medieval time frame, bit more World War II side, modern times, and then eventually I'm planned on having like a sci-fi game setup where the storyline still progresses in the means that it kind of makes sense in the end. But yeah, the first game physically that I'm busy working on has been strong in development for now past 2.5 years, be more specific. Yeah, about the first past 2.5 years. And yeah, I had a lot of struggles myself regards to that. Obviously the coding side and the physical development side of things is not so hard for me at the moment because I did learn a lot and also got a lot done. But yeah, as everybody knows, the whole COVID shebang hit also, so it kind of gave me more time to focus on the game, but in the same time it eliminated the fact that you have funds coming in. And due to all COVID thing, the place where I was working at shut down, and from then on I couldn't stick a job again. It's really hard finding a job in South Africa at the moment. And then also, along with it, the load shedding is just making it even more horrendous. As I mentioned, load shedding is where they just switch your power off at random. And nowadays we have schedules. Like I can show you on my phone. I don't know if you'll see this on the camera, but maybe if I turn the brightness down a tad. Come on. Can you see now? Yeah, you can sort of see. As you can see, 2 o'clock my power's going off again till 4, and then 10 o'clock tonight again. Anyway, it makes the life of a game developer very aggravating because obviously time's money and they're literally taking away your time. But back then, when we didn't have this good old gracious app on the phone, they just switched off the power at random. And unfortunately, just like the previous time where my friend's server was the one to claim, my PC also went. And since everything was already blown up to bits and bobs, yeah, I had to fork out the cash and get myself a new PC setup. With the whole COVID thing, that wasn't really a good possibility. I bought myself a new semi-decent motherboard, 16 gig RAM again, also new. I'm using an old GTX 470 graphics card. It's a very shitty graphics card, sorry for the language. And I unfortunately was forced to buy second-hand hard drives and also second-hand CPU. So not the greatest, but that's unfortunately what I had to do to carry on with the game development part of things. Really? Now? But yeah, that's unfortunately what I had to deal with to try and keep the game development thing going on. And as you could assume, I had to start from scratch again. And yeah, it's been a journey and a half. Slow going. With all this load shedding and then COVID, and funds are dragging very scarcely in a sense. So eventually, yeah, I did get the stuff rolling. As I mentioned, the development of the game was in Unity at first, and eventually one of my friends showed me Unreal Engine, and I kind of just jumped from Unity to Unreal Engine, and it was a little bit better. The reason why I made that move is there's certain things in Unity that just didn't fit what I was trying to do. And also the biggest contributor to that decision was I'm dyslexic. So Unity works with C# majority and also JavaScript. But Yeah, as a dyslexic person, 99% of the time writing code, you have to kind of do spelling mistakes. I'm horrible with spelling. So yeah, it wasn't fun. Eventually with Unreal Engine, it made things a whole lot better. The Unreal Engine runs in the base of C++ scripting language, but they have the thing of blueprint scripts, blueprint scripting, whatever, which makes the job 20,000 times easier. I know, just for example, I had scripts that I was writing for Unity that took me like a week to write, and then I remade that scripts in blueprints and it took me like an hour. I'll maybe put up a little picture on the screen for people that don't know what I'm talking about when it comes to Unity or Unreal scripting languages. But yeah, it made the job a whole lot easier and quicker. So in the past 2 years now that this has been running, I've made tremendous leaps, if you can put it that way, in the development of Man's Last Breath. As I mentioned, it's playing off in medieval type time frame, first person survival. I might add third person in on a later stage. Also single player based at the moment. There's like a free play scenario where the storyline is kind of non-existent, and then when you do play the storyline itself, you still have the choice of ditching the storyline for a little bit, just doing your own random stuff and carrying on with that. The main gaming aspect of it's obviously the survival part of it, so you can solo survive on the map, or you can do the city building part of it, which is also part of the game, or economy building, basically anything from growing a civilization, farming, trading, alliances with neighboring factions, and command and conquer, basically try and conquest and take over their land in a sense. All of that's kind of parts of the game. So yeah, and then reason being for me making these videos at the time is back then I thought, okay, I'm gonna make the game, finish it, package it, put it on Steam, and just kind of see how it goes. Never had really any marketing strategy or even making YouTube videos about it. And then yeah, one of my friends told me that's working for Bethesda now at the moment. It's like, dude, wake up. Well, it doesn't work like that. You might have to start advertising some way. So that last penny pinches in the wallet, I bought myself a cheap camera, cheap mic, and now I'm sitting here in agony. As you probably can notice, I'm all over the place. I probably did this video like 500 times in the course of the past 2 days, but yeah, I guess that's how the boat rolls. For a start, I decided to make a little introduction video, and then from then on, for the course of the next few weeks, I'll make devlogs trying to show people what I have so far in the game, and also there's a lot that I'm gonna rework in a sense. So up to this point, it was basically just whiteboxing everything, laying the base mechanics down in the game, and kind of figuring out how I want stuff to look and feel. So in the course of the next few weeks, I'm gonna bit by bit change stuff, and just rework how things work till the point where I'm happy with it. Also, a lot of time's gonna get put into actually making new assets, because due to the whole situation I'm in trying to make this game, I'm losing a lot of time in a sense. So up to this point it was just coding basically and blocking everything out, and due to that I had to resort using Unreal Engine Marketplace assets, which they are awesome assets, and I love the people that make the assets. It's just I want the game to be authentic to me in a sense, so all of the assets I want to have authentic to the game. But yeah, Also, maybe in the course of next week or the week after, I'll probably have a trailer out also for the first game. Busy working on the whole scene setup and rendering out cuts and all kinds of stuff like that. So I'll definitely have a video out, and then hopefully if there's enough response on this video, I'll start sooner rather than later with the devlogs itself. So I guess other than that, I think that's all for today. So I'll probably start with the devlogs in the course of next week or the week after, hopefully after the trailer, because then I can explain a few more stuff a bit more in detail when a lot of people already saw. Nevertheless, cheerios, enjoy, see you next time.